For the interest, I'm LaDonna Lockard. I'm here today with Megan Anderson. Megan, you are the VP of Client Relations at Highway AI. Go ahead, walk me through a little bit. How did you get your start in this industry?
Well, it's so funny in this industry because no one gets here growing up saying, I want to get into the mortgage industry. And my story is very much the same. At the time, I was actually a personal trainer and I was living in Las Vegas, and I ended up working conventions. And one of the conventions I ended up working was the big mastermind convention in Las Vegas. And that is where I met Barry Habib, and he offered me a job at the time. And, I've been here ever since. I can't believe it's going on almost 9 years at this point in time.
That is wild. What a fun introduction into the industry. And you're so right. No one ever grows up thinking that this is going to be the industry that they end up in, but it has that way of just kind of sinking into you and keeping you in it. So now that you've been with them for almost a decade, obviously there's a little bit of a twist to the name. I've always been so used to MBS Highway. Now it's Highway AI. Tell me a little bit about what's going on with that.
Yes. So many of you know us as MBS Highway. And even to this day, it is hard for me as well to make the shift to calling us Highway. But about a year ago, we acquired List Reports. Many of you know the platform List Reports. So we rebranded as Highway ultimately at the end of the day. It's been a fun journey to grow and add to the product list and, reach more and help more people at the end of the day.
What's your role look like with them? Walk me through kind of the day-to-day life in Megan. What is it exactly that you're doing there?
So a lot of things, still wear a lot of hats at the company. At the end of the day, a large portion of the job is, getting Highway out there, being on podcast episodes just like yours, reaching out to individuals, doing training webinars for our various corporate clients, just kind of getting the word out there.
What is the kind of big evolution that you're seeing coming forward? Obviously, AI is taking over. It's on everyone's minds. What does that look like for you and the service that you're providing?
Well, the first thing that kind of comes to mind is a new tool that we just launched, actually. It is called Home Report. And I really think it's important to talk about it because we know at the end of the day that the Federal Reserve is done hiking rates. In fact, we're going to hear from them today at 2 p.m. Eastern if they are going to cut. We don't believe so. We think it's going to be in the next meeting. But once they do, we are going to see mortgage rates decline. And for the past 2 years, there's been over 10 million purchase transactions. What that is going to do is it's going to create a beautiful refinance opportunity. So I am advising individuals, do you have the system and processes in place to capture that business when we do get that refinance boom? And if you don't, well, we have a new tool called Home Report, which is essentially, it pulls in your past database and it's a monthly cadence and it shoots them an email every month, letting them know what's going on, with their home value, highlighting different things to them, really making it so that you stay top of mind so that you're going to capture that business and that opportunity when it comes.
You're so right. The opportunity is coming and it's knocking at our doorstep. So it will be here before we know it. Do you have any other advice that you would give to people on how to prepare for what hopefully becomes a mini refi boom coming up?
Just the biggest thing is just getting out there, whether it's calling your past database or just making sure that you are staying in contact with them. When you do stay top of mind and that opportunity arises, you want them to ultimately think about you at the end of the day. And, you also just mentioned AI, incorporate and learn how to utilize AI. I've been traveling around the US talking about AI now for the past year, and everyone always has the same question, is it going to take over my job? It's not going to take over your job, but at the end of the day, if there's someone out there that knows how to use it and incorporate it, they're going to take over your job. You don't want to be like my mom, I love my mom right now. I love her to death. But when it comes to social media, she's like, how do I do this? How do I post this? Right? You don't want that to be you. And I'm here to tell you that if you were going to stay in this industry for any longer, 2, 5 years, however long you're going to stay in here, you don't have the option to not learn how to use AI. And I just got back from the Housing Wire AI Summit, where you speak to and listen to C-level executives and how they're using AI and the future that they see in AI. And we're not getting away from it. So take the initiative every day right now to learn and see how you can start to incorporate it in your daily activities to capture more business.
Fantastic advice. Otherwise, you really will become irrelevant if you're not willing to adapt and to change. Speaking of changes, I have to ask you about this. Girl, you're living in a van right now. What is that like for you? Why did you decide to do this? I mean, maybe give me the biggest highlight of what you're going through right now.
Yeah. So the van life was a dream that I had over a decade ago when I was a personal trainer. And I got what my mom called a real job here at Highway. And then it just kind of came back. I was experiencing a little bit of burnout with traveling around speaking all the time. And life just so happened, I'm at a place where I don't have anything really tying me down. And I said, is this going to be something where I'm on my deathbed and I'm like, man, I wish I would have done that. I wonder what that would have been like. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this right now. The opportunity has presented itself. And so I'm currently on about day 30 of van life. And it has been incredible. It has been so grounding to be in nature, and everything runs off of solar. And I got to tell you, with work-life balance, it is so great at the end of the day to just flip my little power switch and the entire world disappears.
Amazing. Well, it's been so fun chatting with you. I know that we're going to continue this conversation. So thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. And for the interest, I'm LaDonna Lockard.
For more on these and all of today's top stories, go to nationalmortgageprofessional.com.